Hey guys, Chicky DeMaine, aka Deboo.com with the Deboo.com surf forecast update. This forecast update effective around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, July 27th, 2014. And guys, looks like the forecast that we've been talking about for the last 3 or 4 days now is starting to come on track. We've been watching this Azores Low, this rare Azores Low for this time of year that's just been sitting and spinning over here. This is going to drop to the south-southwest and start to break apart. And we're now going to start focusing in on where the models have been hinting at a possible new area of low pressure that could develop. High pressure going to stack in on top of it. It's going to pinch off what's on the backside of this low as it begins to break down and will push whatever develops towards the west in here. Now, why is that important? Like we talked about in the last update, high pressure stacking up here, low pressure developing, and we're already starting to see that in the satellite imagery. We'll show you that in just a few moments, but that will increase and east-southeast fetch through in here. Now, keep in mind, we're watching a tropical wave that is starting to come together now that was southwest of the Cape Verde Islands, and as that moves up, we're going to be watching that for some increasing southeast fetch out of that, and it looks like at the moment, guys, first southeast groundswell of the season coming. So you guys are going to want to make sure you pay attention to the forecast over the next 72 hours, but it looks like the first people to get a bump along the east coast is going to be in the mid-Atlantic to the northeast as this tries to come together. No guarantees at the moment, guys, but this is the scenario and the idea we've been talking about for the last several days. Now, we're going to switch you over to some real-time satellite imagery. We've got an upper-level low just north of Puerto Rico that's spinning in here. And because that high pressure is starting to build, you can see that there's some flow out of the northeast. Now, we talked about Puerto Rico picking up a little northeast summertime swell, and Joe McDaniel and Miriam Chim were surfing yesterday. Joe took some pictures, 911surfreport.com, and they, in fact, have picked up a little summertime swell. Maybe some more heading that way as this tries to come together. We're going to have to watch that and see. But as you can see, northeast flow in here, pushing in towards this upper level low feature in here. If you look very closely in the satellite loops, as we get in here to the visible, you see another little spin right in here, and there's another one that's just kind of spinning down from here. All of this is working its way towards the southwest and then eventually west, and then we're going to be watching for that area of low pressure that could develop there. Switch you over to the rainbow loop. This what shows convection. You can see a little bit of convective flare-up with this upper level low north of Puerto Rico, but notice how the clouds, the high-top clouds, are just kind of sinking towards the southwest. We're going to be watching right in here over the next 72 hours or so for some increasing seas and winds out of the east that should push up to the mid-Atlantic and then the northeast. With the guys in the northeast, there's also in the extended possibility of a nor'easter setting up off the Jersey coast. Not a lot of confidence in that yet, but that would turn the wind strong onshore along the coast while some east-southeast swell trying to work its way in. Taking you over to the east coast of Africa, and you can see here's this area of low pressure that the National Hurricane Center is now giving a 40% chance of development. And there's another tropical wave that's just entering the Atlantic arena off the African coast. Yesterday's GFS model run was suggesting that we were going to have 2 tropical cyclones out in the central Atlantic, but was keeping them on a southerly track. Overnight run has switched to 1 tropical cyclone and rounding the corner of the British Virgin Islands and just going over Puerto Rico in about 7 days. But it looks like environmental conditions may keep it a small system. However, that could set up the first true southeast groundswell of the 2014 hurricane season coming up in the forecast. That's all we got for you for now, guys. Stay tuned for the next update.